we'll just ease into it also. We don't have to like hard cut, but... Okay. Alright, so hey, this is James from Task Force Banana, and my friends have challenged me to an on-the-spot EDC dump. And in my case, we're carrying way too many things, but we're going to review some of the stuff I happen to be bringing with me every day. And we're also going to use this opportunity to completely switch backpacks. So, let's start with what's on the body. Oh, got a SIG 365 with a 10-round mag extension. Got a tourniquet. We have a really bad broken Leatherman pocket knife with a bottle opener and a screwdriver. Broken pocket clip. I don't recommend that. Surefire rechargeable flashlight. Sock P dagger from Benchmade, but it's the Spartan Blades one because that one's cooler, but the sheath's better from Benchmade. And a wallet and phone and stuff. Normal things you can imagine. Alright, so that's on the body. Alright, so I'm not totally sure what's in this at this point, but everything I think I need and a lot of things I really don't need are in here. And we'll just work from the front pouch back. So we have a notebook, a checkbook, a Leatherman Surge, which is too heavy to carry on the body, so it's ended up in the backpack. That's debatable utility. A little backpacking bolt action pen from Amazon from China. Oh, Petzl E-light headlamp. I like them because they're tiny, and when they're switched to the off position, they absolutely can't run down the battery like every other headlamp. Not a lot of lumens, but it's an emergency light. My main light's the Surefire. Another pen. One more mag for my SIG, which probably should be on my body, but it's not. I'll start judging. Little pouch with all kinds of USB adapters, Android, iPhone, the old USB, the big USB. These are USB condoms that just let power through, no data. USB kill, which you can Google what that is, and whether anybody needs it or not is debatable. Micro SD adapter. So, a bunch of little electronics things I need for no reason really in my day-to-day life. And that does up that pocket. Moving on to the main compartment. Let's see, this is even more electronics. USB chargers for headphones. Spare set of wired headphones, no Bluetooth. Big old-fashioned USB mini micro. USB 1?
I think it's USB 1.
Or A maybe? Whatever. Some magnetic proprietary adapters. This shouldn't be in here, but Ear Pro. It's always good to carry the tiniest, basicest Ear Pro because you'll be at the range and this is all you brought. A little bit of electrical tape. Android's doing away with the headphone thing, so just a ton of electronics adapters. Here's a little bit of gaffer tape on a piece of plastic, which is supposed to be in the tool pack, but whatever. Maybe the Ear Pro should be too. We'll get away from the boring stuff soon. More USB stuff, because I am disorganized. Here's a chunk of cordage that I use as a necklace for my car keys so I can leave everything else locked in my car when I go running. Here we go. Police scanner. This is a Uniden Bearcat SDS 100. I really like this because in the reserves everybody runs single channel plain text, and this will do lower HF frequencies, like 30 to 50 megahertz, so I can always listen into everybody training and find out what they're up to, even if I'm not participating. It also listens to all the police, EMS, aviation, AM frequencies. Here I've got a ham radio, Yaesu FT3DR, with the signal sticks antenna, whatever. It's just kind of last line commo if your cell phone quits and your inReach, whatever else you're carrying, all those things quit. You can't get a hold of anybody. If you have those frequencies programmed, might get you out of a jam. Got a tiny little boo-boo pouch with Band-Aids and lip balm and travel-sized aspirin and Sudafed, Dayquil, NyQuil, those little dental floss hook things for your teeth. This is probably the most important thing in my gear. Another USB charger. Sunglasses thing, that's pretty important actually. Sport Bean expensive Jelly Bellies with electrolytes that you'll forget you had and never use. I have a RAV Power 26,800 milliamp hour USB battery. It's worked really good so far. I think it was like $100. An IFAC with tourniquet mounted on the outside. Just basically always good to have real medical. It's kind of the third tier, you know, I keep the tourniquet on my body, I keep the IFAC close by, at least in the car. Tools. This is kind of my contingency pouch for tools that saved the day. You know, my ex-girlfriend, I really impressed her mother because I was able to put their license plate on with like a T25 Torx driver that no one in the house had, but I had one with me. So, got the world's smallest Nipex pliers, but they've come in a pinch. The Leatherman Crunch. This one's like a vice grips, which is one thing most multi-tools can't do. So it's not really a good multi-tool, but it's awesome having a vice grips handy. I know I said a lot of this stuff weighs me down, but these are things I actually wouldn't part with under most situations. A little hemostat from like the Army Navy store. This is really good for random wiring projects, which mostly involve your car, but hemostat comes in handy. This bag has super glue and JB Quick just kept in it because those solve a lot of problems, including boo-boos again, little cuts you want to seal up. Silver Sharpie with gaffer tape, that's good for labeling stuff, whatever. I used to do a lot of electronics work, and jumpering stuff always seemed to be a necessity, so I carry one of these little alligator clips. This is a little jackknife pen razor blade thing from CountyCom. And its kind of reasons are obvious, they're not super necessary, but it doesn't weigh much. Little flush cutter that I cut the handles off and put heat shrink on to make it even smaller, which hasn't proven to be useless yet. Tiny ratchet from a bike repair kit. It's very small and light. I don't know the brand. Fix-It Sticks driver and the Leatherman extension. So like together these go with this Leatherman driver kit, which seems to have most of the Torx and metric and standard wrenches all in a really compact portable package. And so combining these with this, you can solve an awful lot of your problems. It's good to keep these narrow because most of the smaller things you'll have to deal with will also be in really hard to reach spots. So getting the fat and wide versions doesn't always pay off. A little bit of bank line, just you always need cordage. Some more electrical tape. Hot glue stick, which you can melt with a lighter. And I should have a lighter, but that seems to be AWOL. Thimble, dental floss, and there's sewing needles jammed in here down inside the case. And that can solve a lot of little problems that happen with things like webbing coming cut out on the trail. The thimble is really important because trying to push a needle through with your bare finger is almost impossible, and you'll end up using like your Leatherman to push it through or something. And thimble's heavy, but it saves the day in a sew kit. It's kind of the secret, most important piece. Some Kevlar line this is from Schomer Tech. It's 80-pound test Kevlar line. That kind of goes with the sew kit. It's a little bit stronger and a little bit less convenient. I have another screwdriver from CountyCom, which is probably not necessary for this kit, but it's still in here, and a bunch of loose drivers, which are really redundant with the Leatherman kit, so that should probably be deleted. I have a tiny wad of solder, which can be used for a ton of random things, but solder's, primarily good for, guaranteeing continuity in electronic stuff. Little tiny knife sharpener that sucks, but whatever, I've got it with me, that's better than nothing. tiny Klein screwdriver, which has a couple of drivers the Leatherman thing doesn't have because it's so small. So I keep that with me. In here I've got the Leatherman has a changeable saw with a wood saw and file. Keep that handy. There's some little titanium pry bars from CountyCom. They're good for keeping, prying apart phone cases and things. I have a little medical scissors from some first aid kit that I just keep around. I don't know. The Leatherman has a scissor that probably covers that. And then I have a big fat sewing awl to go with the sew kit. You could probably use that to stitch the bank line into something that needs more support. Another driver, and I've got a bunch of zip ties and stainless steel zip tie type things, because those seem to save the day very often. Oh, the bag is a Haley Strategic pouch. I don't actually really like it. I really like these Magpul pouches, but I went with this because the cover's clear. But I'm on the fence about its quality. Not like it's built poorly, but getting little things in and out of it hasn't been super convenient. Okay, the next stuff I have is let's see, that does it for the main pouch. Here's one more Samsung charger. I don't know, at this point I could probably charge everyone in the room's phone and my laptop and everything. But alright, so this is Lockout stuff, which saves the day once a year, but it really saves the day when it saves the day. Oh, I also have a trauma shears that was on the IFAC, got moved. Okay, so this is probably a separate video in its own right, but people that use this stuff probably have 100 good stories of how much it meant to them when the chips are on the table. They have cheapo Chinese wafer lock jigglers from Amazon. The last apartment I was staying in, they changed the garage door codes and didn't tell me because I was moving out. And to get all my stuff, I actually had to pick the little manual lock on the knob halfway up so that I could actually get in my garage. So those prove their use. So this pouch is all kind of ancillary Lockout gear that, for whatever reason, I feel like I need everywhere I go. Let's see, down at the bottom we've got door shims for Lloyding door latches. This is a survival mirror, which is kind of for like some splinter cell shit, but you can sneak around, look around the corner if you need to, or much more practical use is your head doesn't fit everywhere, and sometimes a little mirror actually can get you along a little further. This is a canister of film from the whole Deviant Olem thing, and the benefit of this is you can sneak it over most commercial doors with American Disabilities Act door latches, and you know the L-shaped ones. You can get the film around it, hook it, yank it, and open the door from the other side with this. And this has saved the day 3 times in 5 years, so I carry it every single day of my life. Here's some Sparrows jigglers, which I think they're for car door locks, but I'd lump them in with the wafer lock category, so there's more of that. Here's padlock shims. You can Google what those are, but that comes in handy with like really cheap gym locks, combo locks and stuff. This is a key decoding plate, so for like Weiser or Schlag master keys, whatever, you can actually decode them with this by feeling out their pinning or the bitting that they have to actuate pins. But that's handy to carry. Okay, this is 2 great tools that I tied together because you always seem to need them at the same time. But this is one of those Sparrows quick gems for Lloyding door locks, and this is one of those traveler hooks, which are or shroom tool is what they I guess have written on it. But another tool for Lloyding door locks, and I keep them together because if you're in that situation, these 2 tools, drop them in your pocket and keep your finger on the 550 cord. This is another sheet for Lloyding door locks that it's from some firefighter company. It's just a bigger rolled up one. The jury's out on that. I've never needed it. It's kind of big. I probably won't carry it. These are the Volkswagen Auto Group jiggler keys, which only apply to, help me up.
Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche.
Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche. Thanks, Reed. I bought these because my work truck was a Ford and I thought I could jiggle it in. Actually, everybody in our company had Fords, and it worked on some of them, but not all of them, because there's a little plate on the bottom that Volkswagen has and newer laser cut Fords don't. So this was probably a bad investment, and my friend with a Volkswagen doesn't want me to try and get into his car, so they're sort of unproven for their real task. This key ring, there's a screwdrivers, that's not exciting, but this key ring has common keys for normal lock boxes. Like, let's see, this is an LD2, a CH751, that's a really common file cabinet key. You'll just see it on all kinds of different file cabinets and desk drawers and stuff. And so I was somebody that needs help, and this key probably goes to their lock because there aren't a lot of them. It's a handcuff key, there's an overlifting, whatever tool, what's this one? A 16120, which is another one, or I think this is the automatic door entry control box key. I think that's why that one's popular. I've never had to use it. And a C451, which is another common lock. But anyway, they're just kind of master keys for commercial locks that get used all the time. And then I got a little length of wire for shorting stuff if I need it. Here's the air bulb for my airbags, which you can, kind of in a last ditch or most convenient situation, you can use to push the door frame apart from the door. And I've got 2 of those. It's also really good in auto lockout situations. You see locksmiths use these all the time to help people back into their cars. Just makes enough space to get in and press the unlock button on a car door. But I carry 2 of them, and I only carry 1 air bulb because they seal shut when you take it off. So there's no point in carrying 2 of those. There's a bigger door latch tool. This is some firefighter company one. This and this are redundant along with this, but right now I'm carrying all 3. They don't weigh much. I also have a big old pry bar from CountyCom that, if nothing else, this thing can smash things and push things out of the way and pry stuff up, so it's handy to use. Here's a longer version of the Traveler hook for like Sargent and Greenleaf locks, whatever you see on doors all the time. These are construction tool keys, which actually comes up a lot in the reserves. You have Cat, Bobcat, Case, whatever. All those machines use the exact same keys. So I've got a key ring of those I carry with. Another little pry bar from CountyCom. Starting to have a lot of those. Broken key extractor. Much more than your friends getting locked out of their shit, breaking keys happens too. And this is a little hook to try and grab onto those and get them back. Let's see. This is a door pinning tool. It's a little built-in hammer hinge pin punch. So I keep that with me. I haven't had to use it yet. Another piece of wire for shorting things. American lock bypass tool. That haven't had much use with that. These actually go with that kit too. This is a really soft piece of metal from a spatula that I kept for lloyding locks. And the idea is that rigid things develop a memory and get brittle and break. And this is really soft and flexible. And so it's strong in the right ways, but generally it's going to bend around corners instead of snap. Let's see. There's some UV light flashlight for whatever reason I have that. And then conventional lock picks, which is more of a hobby than something of any use, but I've got a couple of these Mr. Leashy picks. Never used those yet, but see if there's an opportunity. Kind of a jackknife from the lock-picking lawyer, full of cool rakes and picks and more latch tools and things. In here it's pretty simple. Bosnian Bill has a video and I pretty much copied his kit, but it's a whole bunch of rakes, picks, jigglers, reversal turning tool. I don't quite remember what you call this, but if you pick the lock the wrong way but you pick it, you can snap it to the right direction and hopefully skip so you don't waste the time you spent picking it. Let's see. What's in this little handgun pocket here? And just a bunch of cash. I used to have like Jason Bourne bailout money, like $1,000 in 20s. I think I spent that all at Big Boy, so now I have $36. But all right, so I'm kind of tired of this bag. It's not doing quite what I want. So luckily on eBay I found a brand new EDC bag. So we're gonna see what we got here. We're gonna rip it open and load this stuff back into it. Brand new EDC pack. It's from Japan. Ooh, there's a Japanese coin in it. So it is used. Yeah, it smells like sushi and rice burners. Okay. Let's see if this guy forgot his handgun in his. Alright, so don't have this very well thought out, and I probably won't think it out well right now, but main compartment towards the bottom. It's a great spot for the lockout stuff I don't use very often, and I'm not a criminal or a spy, so I generally have plenty of time to dig it out when I do need it. So there we go. Old and busted EDC pack, brand new EDC pack. Alright, that's my shakedown. I don't know what sustains or improves with things. I know a lot of it's heavy and I don't need to bring it with, but I'm kind of convinced I want it because I'm not carrying it on my back 24/7. I'm not traveling with it in the airport or anything. So right now I think it's working. Good night, everybody.